dead and stored in a morgue. Stephen Paddock can't explain why he carried out one of the worst mass shootings in American history. But his brain, on its way to Stanford, might reveal clues. Carry lifted from the vault of its skull and preserved in formalin, the 64-year-old killer's brain is being shipped from Las Vegas to Pasteur Drive in search of a biological basis for his violent outburst last month that left 58 people dead and injured nearly 500 others. Stanford pathologists will analyze the brain of Las Vegas gunman Stephen Paddock. Courtesy of Eric Paddock via AP. The specifics remain shrouded in mystery. Under an agreement with Las Vegas-based investigators, the university won't discuss their plans, and will not allow neuropathologist Dr. Hannes Vogel to speak even generally about the lab, which studies about 250 brains annually. But Las Vegas authorities say the exam is part of a probe that has so far come up empty-handed. Before his meticulous sniper attack from the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel on an outdoor concert below, Paddock showed no signs of schizophrenia. He had a string of broken relationships but no record of violence or encounters with law enforcement. He had no known political affiliations. He took medication for anxiety, but had no debts, tax problems or other obvious stressors. In interviews, Paddock's brother Eric speculated that something broke in his head is the only thing possible. Did he have a stroke? I'm hoping they cut open his brain and find something. There's a data point missing. Scientists say that minor changes in brain chemistry and structure can change who we are. If it's possible to gain insight into his actions at the biological level, we might be in a better position to fend off such tragedies in the future, wrote David Eagleman, director of Stanford's Center for Science and the Law and an adjunct professor of neuroscience, in an essay for CNN. Get top headlines in your inbox every afternoon. Get the free PM Report newsletter. Sign up to the Naked Eye. Nothing in Paddock's autopsy suggested abnormalities that would lead him to nurse grievances and build an arsenal, Clark County Sheriff Joe Lombardo told the Las Vegas Review-Journal. The top of his skull was sawed off, his scalp peeled back and the brain was removed for gross examination. The autopsy did not reveal obvious defects, such as tumors, said Lombardo. In contrast, a malignant tumor was found in the brain of shooter Charles Whitman, who in 1966 climbed to the top of a University of Texas tower with a sawed-off shotgun and shot for 96 minutes, killing 13 people, although experts disagree over whether it caused his fury. Paddock's autopsy also found no signs of bleeding or abnormal structures on the inside or outside surfaces of his brain. The 64-year-old brain showed no swelling or atrophy. Vessels appeared normal, but Stanford will bring something more to the analysis, a microscopic exam. Vogel, an ultra-runner and accomplished neuropathologist, has long experience in using high-tech tools to find brain disease. He serves as a consultant to hospitals far from Stanford. When magnified, brain cells can sometimes hold clues to hidden conditions that impair social skills, reasoning and judgment. Stanford will seek evidence of internal damage caused by stroke. They'll look for the cellular degeneration of frontotemporal dementias, the abnormal particles of Pick's disease, and the plaques and tangles of Alzheimer's disease. They'll scan tissue for telltale red flecks of odd proteins in chronic traumatic encephalopathy (CTE), created when the brain is repeatedly hit, as seen in some football players who later turned violent. Such exams can't reveal biochemical imbalances or lack of blood flow. That can only be done in live brains, through scans like functional magnetic resonance imaging (fMRI), which measures brain activity. And mental illness often does not show up on a slide under a microscope. Nothing was detected in the brain of 2007 Virginia Tech shooter Sung Wei Cho, who called himself never made eye contact, frightened teachers and classmates with macabre and violent writings and rarely spoke. Depression is believed to have caused Germanwings co-pilot Andreas Lubitz to deliberately crash his aircraft into the Alps in 2015, killing all 150 people on board. What if the problem was not in Paddock's brain, but in a cold heart and empty soul, places where microscopes can't look further? The condition of his brain may impede the investigation. Crime scene photos show that he shot himself in the head. Even if experts find something, it likely won't prevent mass murder. We can't go around cracking people's heads open to stay safe. But brain autopsies can be helpful for many reasons, according to the Association for Frontotemporal Degeneration. Because a condition may be hereditary, a diagnosis is important for relatives. And doctors need to understand the brain's biochemical and molecular changes to design more targeted and effective therapies. It is impossible at this point to attempt anything beyond conjecture, wrote Stanford's Eagleman. However, as Stephen Paddock's relationships are plumbed and his medical records are scrutinized, these are some of the paths for examination. And if his self-inflicted gunshot did not damage his brain too badly, he said, we might finally gain deeper answers.